Hello, welcome back to my series where I am making one clothing item a month this year for 2025. So that's 12 new clothing items in my closet for the whole year, probably more because I like to make a piece of clothing and then go and make a different kind and different fabric. Also, excuse my voice, I lost my voice. I don't know how I lost it, but it's gone. So today we're making the Eden top Me and Kiddo patterns. I really like this pattern. It comes up pretty quickly. You'll see that I'm wearing a few different outfits while making this, but it's just because I have very limited time as a mom of 6. I only have short periods of time that I can work on projects like this. But I would say that this would be great for beginners to intermediate, and you can make your own modifications to it to have a ruffle bottom or short sleeves or longer sleeves. I made a modification where I did elastic at the sleeve. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. A little background about me. I have been sewing since I was a teenager. I'm now 32 years old, but I was never formally taught or took any classes, any formal classes. Really, everything I learned beginning with what my mom taught me, which she was self-taught, and then going into what some of my friends who sew their own clothes have taught me, and people on YouTube. So do not know all the technical terms all the time. I will be learning a lot of these things right alongside you. So let's get started.
What are you doing? Why you gotta sit there?
I am putting this pattern together. I'm realizing I was so meticulous with this part, and I'm not even gonna use this part because I'm doing the balloon sleeve, and I don't even think I'm gonna need these, and I was so meticulous. So it's funny, just pattern problems. As you can see, I am in my dining room. That's my living room. Nothing fancy here. I have a baby on my back because that's the only way we can do it. For these, I cut off the top because that's an easy cut. And then I fold the sides for every few ones. So like this one's gonna be folded, but then that means I don't have to fold the next one because it's just gonna go on top like this. So, anyone have tips for patterns not lining up? I thought I was so good, and every time I'm so not.
There are a few options with printing patterns. You can go to a print shop and have it printed out A0 size, or you can print at home, tape it all together, and then cut it out. You can also use a projector, but I have not gotten to that yet. There's my first cut, the sleeve, and then that is my fabric. I realized I didn't show you guys it, but it is a white cotton fabric that I got at Hobby Lobby. Always, always, always wash and iron your fabric. It's going to make things way better. And now it's time to cut. I have a cutting pad, which I got at Hobby Lobby, and a Fiskars rotary cutter to cut everything out. My 5-year-old daughter loves watching, and I love to let her watch so I can inspire her to do the same someday. My first step was threading my machine. I have a Singer Promise 2. I got it like 10 years ago. It's not super fancy, but it works. I sewed the shoulder seams, then used my zigzag stitch to reinforce it. Next, I sewed the neck binding together to make a circle. I pinned it on, sewed it on. I didn't get a video of that, but if you need a video, there's lots here on YouTube. Then I sewed down the sides and zigzagged that to make sure it does not fray or fall apart when I wash it. And I tried it on to see how it's looking.
I am going to put basting stitches on the top part of the balloon sleeve and then on the bottom part. There's going to be 2 rows, and that is what we'll use to gather it to make the big puffy sleeve.
A basting stitch is a temporary stitch. You will use your longest setting on your stitches. Do not secure it in place because you will be using it to tighten and move to cinch it together. I ironed the sleeve binding, I think it was a 1/4 inch over, and then I sewed the sleeve together so that it can be pinned in place. Cinched the gathering. As you start to gather those stitches, you start to see your shirt come alive, and it's really exciting. For the sleeve binding, I have the sleeve inside out and the binding inside out. Then I pin those together and sew it on. And then I'm going to fold it over and sew on the binding. There's also a video for that in her pattern. But now it's time to put the sleeves onto the shirt, which is so exciting. With the gathers in place, you pin it into place, make sure the seams are matching. Put the sleeve inside the shirt with right sides touching. And then once you are done with that, you just have to hem the bottom or add your ruffle. And that's it. I'm obsessed with how it turned out, and I cannot wait to make the next thing. What should I make next?